Hey moviegoers, this is the Movie Critic and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing my first ranking system, rating my top 10 best movies of 2021. This is going to be really exciting. As the last video on this channel for this year, I look back on what happened during this past year 2021 and I see nothing but progress, and I am very excited that I started up this channel this year when I should have started last year, but better late than never. And I once again am really thankful for all of you for staying by my side, for being my subscribers, and let's have a brighter future in 2022. Before we start the video, make sure to smack the like button if you like the video, and if you want to become a subscriber and you're not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell on the side to get information on videos in the near future. Now that I got that out of the way, let's start this ranking of my best movies of 2021. And action! Starting off with number 10, my 10th best movie of 2021 has to be King Richard, starring Will Smith. The movie is a sort of biopic of the family of Serena and Venus Williams, and it mostly follows the father of the two sisters who has a plan for his family, and he just wants his family, his kids to be the best they can be. This movie really surprised me. I remember hearing about it when it first came out, and I'm not really a fan of Will Smith and his acting. Like, I watched a few episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I know some of his roles, like when he played Muhammad Ali, but I've never really been a fan of his acting. He has great acting moments, but him as an actor, he's not in my top 5. But he really surprised me in this movie. He did a really good job. Everybody in the movie did a really fantastic job. The individuals who played the family members, like the mother and Serena and Venus Williams, they all pulled their own weight. No one felt more important than the other. Everybody did a really good job. I liked the movie. It was really good. Diamond status. Yeah, diamond status. At number 9, I have to give the spot to Ghostbusters Afterlife. As a movie, the movie is a love letter to a franchise that is long overdue. As I've said in my movie review, it's such a great film in general, and I think that it did fan service right in this movie, and I am glad with most surprises that came out for this movie, and the acting performances, especially from McKenna Grace, who played the main protagonist, Phoebe. She did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see what she does later on in her life. Paul Rudd always does amazing. The sexiest man alive, of course. He's going to do great things. Everybody else in the movie as well, they did fantastic jobs. The visuals are on point, and there's really beautiful scenes in this movie. In terms of direction, it was a really fantastic movie, and it deserved to be on this list. I just loved it. At number 8, I'm gonna put In the Heights as the spot. Despite all the backlash that this movie has gotten because of certain things that I'm not gonna get into, I really enjoyed this film, and I thought that it was a perfect rendition of a musical that I love dearly. From the choreography and the cinematography and the music, some of the music changes, of course, are gonna not please a lot of the fans of the musical. But to me, I thought that it was perfect as it was. But in terms of the movie, I really enjoyed the directions that John M. Chu took as the director, and just seeing Lin-Manuel Miranda sit back and watch someone paint a canvas of a already beautiful masterpiece, which is In the Heights. It's beautiful in a way, and I wish this movie got more love than hate, but that's the world we live in today, and I just really love the movie. I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't on this list. On the topic of musical-like stuff, number 7 is going to be Inside by Bo Burnham. This is a comedy special made by the comedian Bo Burnham, where it basically takes us through his entire year being in quarantine. And I am visually stunned by the movie. The movie is probably one experience that was best to take in during the times of when quarantine was at an all-time high. I remember when I saw this film back when I was in Florida for vacation. I saw it on my phone. It was late at night, and it was one of the best experiences I ever had when it came to specials and comedy specials, which I've never really looked at, but I wanted to check this out because it's Bo Burnham, and being a memer myself, I'm not inspired by him, but I do love his work, and I see some of his work as genius level to some capacity. To see him do this special all by himself with all the visuals and the songs that some are heart-wrenching, some are to laugh at, some skits that he made that were made to laugh at or to make you think about life. It's really beautiful, and if you haven't watched it, I recommend it. It is a masterpiece in my opinion, but there's other masterpieces that are better than this, but this is really good. At number 6 is gonna be what my first movie review was, and that is The Mitchells versus the Machines. I remember when this movie was first called Connected, and I remember being so pumped for the film because it looked really, really cool and really interesting, and it was produced by the two individuals who shook the industry of animation and Sony Pictures in general, Phil Lord and those two people. I forgot their names. I don't know how I forgot their names, but they made this they produced this movie, and you can really see it because the movie as a whole is very hilarious, very heart-wrenching, and very visual. Is very stunning to look at as an animated movie. It combines 2D and 3D together, kind of like what Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse did. It's really good, and everybody in the film did an amazing job with the voice acting, and if there's a sequel, I wouldn't be mad at it, and I just can't wait to see what Sony Animated Pictures does next, because the future looks bright. It really does. At number 5 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. This movie is also another love letter to fans of the director and the director himself. This history behind this is he was over the 2017 version of Justice League, but he had to back out because of a death of his family member, and someone took over and made it worse. And people wanted to know how the director's vision would have been if he was still on the film. And the director said that he had some scenes that he had stored in his archives, and people were like, wow, we need to see this. So they kept pressuring Warner Brothers to make the Snyder Cut version, and the Snyder Cut version came out. And it's a 4-hour epic, and I am glad that I was able to watch it. This movie is an amazing superhero film, so amazing superhero epic. Probably one of the best superhero films I've seen. Some people will complain about the 4-hour time period, but I think that it worked in many ways than it didn't, and it's a really shot-for-shot comic book come-to-life type film, especially the last few minutes of the film with Flash going into the Flashpoint It's a really beautiful film. It has a lot of beautiful parts. It's amazing through and through. And if you're a superhero fan and you haven't watched it, especially if you're a superhero fan and you love DC, I highly recommend it. It's an epic that can't be missed ever. At number 4 is gonna be Tick Tick Boom, Lin-Manuel Miranda's first directorial debut. The movie is it's a really good musical movie, and I hope that in the couple of months that it gets a lot of recognition that it deserves, because as I've already seen, a lot of people are starting to love it, and I love it. Andrew Garfield, this is probably one of his best performances ever. He did such a great job portraying the belated Jonathan Larson, the now deceased Jonathan Larson, and everybody did a great job in this film. The music is great. It's really good, and for it to be Lin-Manuel Miranda's first directorial debut, he knocked it out of the park with this one. And I can't wait to see if he still wants to do movies, what he's going to direct next, because this was a good first film. Now we're getting into the top 3 of my list of best movies of the year. And starting off with number 3. Number 3 for me is going to be Dune. I know it should be higher, but I am not as... I have better movies that I think are that deserve the top 2. Dune is... wow. I'm still sad that I didn't get to see the movie in theaters. I saw it at home, but even then, with what I have this little remote, this remote right here, and I put it on. I tried to make it the best that I could with like the theatrical experience, and I had probably one of the best experiences with audio and the visuals. And the score by Hans Zimmer. It's a really beautiful movie. And I just loved it very much. And I hope that part 2, whenever it comes out, that it delivers as well as the first one did. And when it's put together, Dune Part 1, Part 2, that we can see the movie for what it is. A really beautiful sci-fi masterpiece. It's great to see how this movie inspired so many books, so many movies, so many stories like Star Wars and Game of Thrones. And it's just great to see what it all came from, where it all started. And I'm just glad that this movie is made, and I can't wait for Dune Part 2. Really good movie, but not better than the movies I'm gonna name now. Number 2 for me has to be The Green Knight. I just saw the movie yesterday because I had always wanted to see the movie when the trailers like first started to happen before the year closed. Before I made this list, I said I have to watch this movie before I conclude my list of 2021. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to King Arthur and the tales of King Arthur and the Round Table. But it was just something about this movie that made me want to watch it. And I did it. And it's you have to be very interested in a movie like this in order to really understand why it's good, why it's great. The visuals are amazing. The directing of whoever is the director is amazing. There's some long takes and one take, one shot takes that are just really beautiful to watch. I think they're one shot takes. If they're not, I'm really surprised, because wow, it tells a tale of Gawain. I don't know his name. It's like that. It's spelled Guwain, but they say it really weirdly in the movie. And it's not a epic quest where he goes and fights a dragon. It's a laid back quest of him going to this chapel to meet this Green Knight, where he has to return the favor of what he done to the Green Knight, which was behead him. So he has to go meet the Green Knight and get beheaded, basically. The last few parts of the film are what shocked me the most, because I didn't think it's a really amazing film. I'm tired of saying really good. It's a phenomenal film. And I wouldn't say I recommend it because it's not going to be for everyone, but it was for me and it made my list. And I'm happy that I saw it before the year ended. Before I state my number one best film of 2021, I want to get into two honorable mentions that I have that aren't better than the ones on this list, but they would be in my top 15. Starting off with the first one, I have to talk about Luca. Luca is a very simplistic film, but it's not too simplistic to be boring. It is a really good film that tells a really great story about friends in the summertime of Italy, and it's probably the most visually colorful Pixar movie that Pixar's made, and it's really beautiful, simplistic but beautiful. That's how I can describe Luca. You should watch it. Number two for my honorable mentions has to also be The Suicide Squad. I remember when this movie was first talked about, and remembering that James Gunn was going to be over it and that he was going to use his creativity to create a superhero story that couldn't be created with the version that we got years ago. And I remember all my friends, they were like, there's no reason for this movie to be made. It's going to be bad. And I'm like, it's James Gunn, the person that made Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which people hate for some reason. I don't understand why. And he also made Scooby-Doo, the live-action Scooby-Doos that I find personally really, really good, especially the second one. And just to see him take the reins on the Suicide Squad, and he did it right, he did it well, and it's not just a great superhero movie, it's also a very stunning cinematic experience as well. But it's a really good film, and I'm glad that it got the love that it did because it deserved it. But it wasn't enough to get on my list. It probably would have been number 11, but it's still a really good film. Now that I've done all of that, I am going to get into my number one pick for the best movie of 2021. And I'm sure you guys already know what I'm going to say. So let's say it together. 3, 2, 1. Spider-Man No Way Home, baby. Woo! That movie is something that I have been waiting for. You know what? I'm just going to... Charlie says it best. Take it away, Charlie.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Yes. That is exactly how I felt when I was in the theater, when I saw the trailers, when I saw everything about the film. Yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. It was such a good movie, such a beautiful Spider-Man film. Despite some of its flaws that some people have pointed out, I find it as probably my favorite superhero film, besides Avengers Infinity War. And I'm very satisfied with this film. When I walked out of the movie theater, I just remember thinking to myself, my mind completely blown by what I had saw. I'm not going to say what I saw because I know some of you out there haven't watched it yet, which you should, because it's getting hard out here for people that haven't watched it, because spoilers are everywhere now. It's been almost 2 weeks. If you haven't seen it in 2 weeks, the spoilers are just going to start coming out. There's going to be trailers. I can already see it. Trailers galore of what wasn't said already. And I am very satisfied with this film, and the Spider-Man fan in me, the Spider-Man fan who has loved Spider-Man ever since I was a kid when the Sam Raimi films that first came out, and the Spider-Man fan in me that loved The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yes, I love The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You can fight me, I will fight you. I love The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Just seeing the film and everything that happened with the villains being in the film and Tom Holland doing his performances and everybody pulling their own weight. It's a beautiful Spider-Man film, not just for fan service. It tells a great Peter Parker Spider-Man story, and there's a reason why it got $1 billion in the box office. That's all I'm gonna say. But there's a reason. And that is going to do it for my last video of 2021. Oh my goodness, so much progress has been made, as I've said at the beginning of the video. And I am so glad that I got to do my first ranking of my top 10 films of the year. And it was really exciting. I am glad that I did it. I was at first not going to do it and just not do a video, but I saw other movie critics do it, and I was like, what movie critic would I be if I didn't make a top 10? So I did, and I don't regret it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah. So as the last video on my channel before 2021 ends, this has been a really good year for this channel, and I can't wait to see what will happen in the future with this channel with you all, and if my subscriber count will grow. Fingers crossed. It's almost at 100. We're probably going to be on the road to 100 next year. The road to 100 subscribers. We'll see. But thank you all very much for an amazing year, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Make sure to, once again, subscribe if you haven't, like the video if you haven't, and just have a great rest of your year. I will be waiting for Cobra Kai Season 4 to come out, and I just really hope you guys have a great last couple of days, and I hope that your 2021 was as good as it could be, and that it was better than what happened last year, because last year was rough for everyone, rough for me. But I hope you guys had a good year, and here's to a bright future in 2022. I hope you guys have a great day or night, moviegoers. This is the Movie Critic, and that's a wrap.